What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to be a D1 wide receiver. So we're going to be talking about some of the key things that all Division I wide receivers have in common and what college coaches are looking for in wide receivers at the next level. So I hope this video gives you guys some value. We're going to be covering 3 key points with route running, releases off the line, and then obviously just one of the main things that college coaches are looking for. We're going to talk about that at the end of the video, okay? But also, fellas, today we're having a 50% off sale on our 28-day speed workout plan. 28 days of gym workouts to improve your speed, only $10. Today, only $10. Sale expires at midnight. So make sure that you guys take advantage of that. Very first link in the description, $10 only, 28 days of speed workout plan. Great value for you guys. Check out that very first link in the description. Today only. Let's get started. So first thing we're going to be talking about here to make sure that we're, ready for this next level is that your breaks at the top of the route got to be clean. Okay. So many coaches focus on this. Can he get in and out of breaks fast? Right. And that's what they're looking for in these D1 guys. You look at all Division I athletes, all Division I receivers, they have this in common. So it's watch at full speed. So you see when this receiver comes off here, drops those hips violently, right? So that's the key that we're going to be focusing on. What are you doing at the top of the break to get in and out of routes? Are you running up to this thing and beating the drum and chopping your hands? Somebody asked the other day, and I want to address this now. What does beating the drum mean? That's where you just chop your feet. Like, that's the old school way of teaching this because coaches are lazy and they don't want to teach that like violent snap down method because it's difficult to teach, right? It's hard to get guys. Not a lot of guys can grasp that, right? So they just teach, just beat the drum, right? So what that is you chop your feet and then your hands are fast. Like I call it milking the cow because that's how your hands work, right? So that's what it slows you down and it gives this DB so much time to react to this thing. But what coaches are looking for to make that jump to the next level is they're looking for, can you just drop your hips right now? Can you get to this explosive position and can you do that fast? Can you drop? Because that's like what it creates energy, but also you could sell vertical and be able to do this at the same time. When you beat the drum and chop your steps, you're taking like 6, 7, 8 steps at the top of the break. While this DB is taught the same thing as us, let's eliminate time. Let's eliminate time at our break point so we could drive on this thing. But the thing about playing receiver is you constantly know where you're going. The DB has no clue where you're going, right? So if we can make him believe fate and we could give no indicators of my pad level, I can get him to be in a position where his hands are off of me or it's zone and I'm attacking him and he's off that platform. He's bailing out of there because I'm running full speed and then I'm able to do this at the top of the break. That separates you from a lot of receivers because not a lot of receivers can drop their hips and be violent like this. And again, don't be so caught up in what step you should go off of. Yes, it matters. Like if you're running a comeback, you want to go inside. I teach inside leg. If you're running a curl, you want to go outside leg. Like a hitch route, it's inside. But don't get so caught up in which step to go off of. Get caught up in being explosive, selling vertical, and eliminating time at the top of the break. If you take 5 steps and you drop your hips violently and you're faster than a guy who took 3, I'd rather have you take 5. It's about who could be fast and who could have balance and who could have explosion. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this explosive hip drop. Can you come to balance at the top of the break so you can shoot out or just stop right on a dime? Because you see this DB's not even in the screen right now because of how violent my hips are. I don't give an indicator. The only way you're able to decelerate by selling vertical completely, right? Guys who go half speed can just slow down in 1 step, right? But that's not realistic. You're not getting the DB off that platform. Guys who run full speed, the only way you can stop is by being violent with your hips, okay? So that's one of the main key things that guys are looking for in receivers at that next level. To be that D1 guy, can you drop your hips efficiently? Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. So he's coming out here, drops those hips violently, then comes back to that ball. Great example of what you guys need to do at the top of the break, okay? So now, this release I want to talk about right here, this is like a slide release. Now, the main thing I want to focus on is watch it full speed. So you see how this receiver slides, gives a 1-2, makes that DB fall, then takes this outside release, okay? So now, main key right here. Main key on this, big thing, this is what I want to include. What they're looking for in D1 guys is, can you make your stuff look the same off the line of scrimmage? You look at any elite wide receiver, right? Look at guys like, because again, at the next level, the whole point of this video is because everybody at the next level is fast, right? Everybody's quick, everybody's explosive. If you need to improve your speed, again, like I talked about in the very beginning of this video, speed gym workout plan, 50% off today, right? And that's something that can be built on. Speed can be taught. It can be worked on. You work those explosive movements, right? But everybody at that next level is big. Everybody's fast, right? Everybody's big and everybody's fast. So your route running is just going to separate you if you're maybe just like average. Like if you're going into college and you run like a 4.6, 4.7, 40, you're not that fast. Like you're quick, don't get me wrong, but you're not that 4.4, 4.3 guy who could just dust by people. You know what I mean? So your technique matters, and that's what's going to separate you because believe me, there are thousands of kids across the country who are fast, big, strong, whatever. So what are you going to do to be able to separate yourself? And that's the whole point of this. So you see this receiver, he works this like kind of slide release he takes. I love this first step because it's like a power step. This step gets in the grass and shoots him out. This is a textbook slide release. He takes this first step, slides out to the outside. Now he's in a good range. Now, you could do like 5 different things right here. You could just slide and then go, take off to the outside like Davante Adams style. You could just slide, hit him with just this 1-2, and then you break off of this foot and run a slant underneath. You got his hips to turn because that slide looks the exact same. Or what you could do is you could slide out here, hit him with a 1-2, and then a 3 again, or excuse me, yeah, he goes 1-2, then third move back to the inside here, gets that DB to jump to the inside, and then he accelerates back over the top. That's a great example of what you need to be able to do off of this slide release, okay? So that's the key that I wanted to discuss here. What they're looking for in a D1 guy is how can you make your stuff look the same? How can you make this DB, how can you make him think you're doing the same thing over and over and over again? And it all builds, because when you come into a game, right, a receiver coach at the next level does not want to see you just come up to the line and work all this fancy shit and then be able to go. He wants to see you have that list of just 5, 6 different things in your head. It all builds. You're ready to go. You're prepared for any situation, and you can make it all look exactly the same. It's all a setup, right? Because again, maybe one time, like I'm a first read on a play, I slide like this, and then I just take off, and I could go maybe restack, work a move, or I could just beat him to the outside on a fade. Now, maybe I do this same little hesitation slide. Maybe I'm like the third read on a slant, and I give like a 1-2 and I break underneath on a slant like I was talking about. Or maybe I go here. I give a little slide and then I take off 1, 2, 3 and work a diamond release and I break back underneath. That's 4 different releases we just discussed that build off of this same hesitation slide. So you could build off the same off a split release. You could do the same thing off of just a quick little 1 jab speed release, maybe worked into a wide step. It all builds. So that's the second thing that comes into play when you want to be a D1 guy is, can you make your stuff look the same off the line? It's not about who can do the most moves. It's about who can be efficient, who can get off a press, who can keep the timing with the quarterback, and having the IQ and the knowledge to know when to work this stuff, right? When you work this slide release and you're working moves off of this, it's not the ball. You're probably not the first read. A fade's a little bit different because you run a fade, you got to get downfield, and you got to be able to create some space for this to even work in the first place. But like if you're running a slant, you work that slide, maybe hit him with a 1-2, be patient, and then go. But if you're working if you're like a first read dig, let's say it's like a dig pivot concept, and you're here and you're facing press coverage like this, you don't want to slide, give him 1, 2, 3, then burst up to the dig, then break on the dig, because the quarterback's going to move on. You guys got to know when to work the certain releases and having certain releases for each situation, okay? Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Is a great example. A textbook slide, 1, 2, 3, and then he breaks off this thing and accelerates upfield. It's a great job by that receiver. All right, so now, last thing I want to talk about, and I believe that this is one of the more important things, because again, you get to college, they're going to be coaches up there that are well coached, right? Or not well coached, but like that are going to properly coach you, right? And it's going to be a total culture change, and that's great. That's great for high school receivers. But guys coming up, how you can stand out on film is not being afraid of contact, right? Now, this is a much bigger receiver, obviously. And so it makes it a little bit easier to do what I'm going to be talking about here. And a smaller guy, this is probably not your game, right? But again, to be able to play at that next level, you guys got to have these things that stick out on film, because there are plenty of receivers. How many states are there in the U.S., right? 50, right? So 50, maybe like I don't know about all the territories and shit like that. That's not the point. But like 50. It's called 50, right? So the thing is that there are plenty of receivers all over the country that look like this, right? So how are you going to separate yourself on film? How are you going to be that guy on film that sticks out to these guys? Because they're like, okay, yeah, he's 6'4", but we got 8 other 6'4" kids who could run routes better than this guy, who could get off press better than this guy, and that's how they're going to make their decision, right? So that's just what they're going to be doing. So that's how college coaches look at things, because they're looking to give you an offer, right? They're looking to invest a lot of money in you, so you got to be able to stick out and do these little details. So we're going to be talking about how you can be physical. Don't be afraid of the contact. So you see when he comes off here, he gives this move, he's constantly working, second level release, gets up to the top of the route, and is able to make this play. He doesn't get all the separation in the world, but he gets the separation he needs to be able to make a play. So again, throughout the route, this is one of the key things, is what a lot of people don't work. A lot of people just work their hands right here. They'll just get hands off the line, they'll take this inside release, and they just let this DB punk him the whole time. He's got hands on me, shit, I give up. I'm not going to continue to fight those hands. I'm not going to continue to try to get this guy off. He's going to just get hands on me the whole route. He's going to be on me, and the quarterback's got to put a perfect ball for this to work. No, that's not what makes you stand out on film. Can you work your hands throughout the route? Can you work that second level release where you're constantly fighting those hands, constantly getting the DB's hands off of you, and then when you get to the top of the route, you attack him at that point of control. You swat him at the back of that shoulder, back of that elbow, maybe back of that hip. You don't push and extend. You're just fighting those hands. You're swatting him off, working that hand technique. That's what can get you separation, right? And you see here, it wasn't like he ran this just super fancy route. He just got up into the route. He kept the timing with the quarterback. He pushed to get to the depth. He pushed to get to his landmark, and he was constantly fighting the DB's hands. That's one of those things, especially as a bigger guy, a bigger physical guy. Can you create this? Because if you're a bigger dude, if you're on the like 6'2" plus side, and you could get this much space, easy money for the quarterback. The quarterback's going to fall in love with that. Offensive coordinator is going to fall in love with that. Because when we get down close, 20 going in, I know you're going to get some space. Bam, I can just give it to you. I can just put it on your body and we could just roll. I don't have to lead you. I don't have to do much. From a quarterback perspective, we love any kind of bigger receiver who could get some space like this. So make sure, fellas, that you guys are constantly working your hands. You're not afraid of contact and you're not afraid to be physical. That's one way you could jump out on film, is there are plenty of big guys around the country, plenty of big guys in every single state that submit their film to coaches, just like you guys plan on doing. So make sure that you have something to stand out to them. So let's watch it full speed one more time. So great job fighting those hands. Great job getting to the top, swatting him by, and then accelerating off this thing. Great job. Okay, so all right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, again, like I said, leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And again, today only 50% off speed training program, $10 only, fellas, for a full month of workouts. That's great value. That's one of the best values we have on our website. Hope we can get you guys on that program soon. Again, very first link in the description. Improve your speed. I'll see you guys next time.